materials. So let's talk about object of preposition first. Yeah. Okay, actually, I asked you yesterday what is preposition, and some of you mentioned advanced prepositions that I'm actually very, very happy about. So the first one I'm gonna mention, of course, preposition. When it comes to preposition, there are a lot of prepositions. Actually, there are simple preposition, there are complex preposition. Simple preposition, it means that that preposition only consists of a word, and there are also complex preposition, which is preposition that consists of more than a word. For example, apa aja sih yang kemarin kalian sebutkan? Disebutkan kembali coba. Preposisi itu yang termasuk preposisi apa aja sih? Which one is preposition, guys?
Of,
About,
Under,
of,
behind, about,
under,
above,
Before, after,
for,
above,
above,
during, in spite of,
Wow.
out of,
In spite
in
of.
spite of,
Despite-nya nggak ada of-nya ya.
despite,
okay, sorry,
after all,
with,
without,
Without. Very good. Very good. What else?
under,
Oh, very good. Under.
in, above,
above,
Very good. Ada nggak yang lebih, misalnya mungkin taunya lebih dari more than two words? Ada nggak yang kalian tahu? For example, like as well as consists of.
as usual,
What else? Ada yang tahu?
because of,
Sorry?
because of,
I'm so sorry, I couldn't hear it. Once more? Mention it once more.
because of,
Because of. Because of only two words. Yeah, but that's okay. Because of is one of the prepositions. Ada kata as well as in regard to, and a lot of types of preposition. Ini semuanya preposition ya. Bisa ada juga. A lot of is not preposition, unfortunately.
okay,
That's okay. A lot of is more like quantity. It's determiner in a noun phrase.
determine, as a
Determiner.
part of determine, okay,
Okay, this is preposition, so add on as well, and a lot more. When it comes to prepositions, actually, there's something I want to mention as well, because I believe that you will need it at the end of this class, which is in our 16th meeting, if I'm not mistaken. We are going to talk about this one, but let me share it with you today. At least you've come prepared later. I want to mention about a bound preposition. What is bound preposition? Bound preposition, it means that this preposition is tied to a word. For example, if I'm saying like this, listen to. Gak bisa misalnya kalian bilang, oh listen, masa mau pakai ini aja, Miss, listen with misalnya. You cannot do that because we cannot tie listen with, for example, with listen. They're not a match, bukan pasangannya gitu loh. Biasa kita silakan memang dengan dependent preposition or bound preposition. Jadi kan harus hafalkan. Banyak yang bertanya, Miss, terus gimana dong cara menghafalnya kalau kita misalnya nggak bisa pakai semau kita? Yang nggak ada cara lain, karena kita juga nggak bisa mentranslate. Because if I'm saying like this, guys, Sama dengan, similar. Similar itu pasangannya apa menurut kalian?
Similar to.
Similar to.
Very good, very good. Similar to. If I'm saying different,
Different
Different
to.
from.
very good, different from. So be careful because something like this itu nggak bisa misalnya kalian apa ya? Kalian make it up. You know what I mean, right? You cannot say, oh, Miss, it's more convenient if I'm saying similar with or different with. Even though in bahasa, when we translate to bahasa, we say berbeda dengan in bahasa itu kalau kita translate ke bahasa Inggris kan with. But we cannot say similar with, even though it's so comfortable, it's so convenient in our mother tongue to say similar with, because that's how it is. But that's just not how it is when it comes to preposition. So when I studied, even when I studied with natives, for example, some of the natives sometimes still got it wrong. I mean, let alone us, we are non-native speakers, right? So we are struggling a lot with prepositions and it's very understandable. Jadi memang kita harus banyak-banyak memperbanyak, ini aja memperbanyak literasi aja supaya kalian terbiasa dengan pasangan-pasangan seperti ini, karena nggak ada aturannya, nggak ada apa ya, nggak ada cara yang sangat-sangat spesifik atau misalnya like this is the tricks to know that there's no such thing. That's why I couldn't even share it with you guys. Jadi kalian banyakin ini aja, banyakin membaca dan sebagainya. Okay, but that's not our material actually. I just want to briefly mention about this one. So yeah, let's move past it. Let's start with our core material, which is the object of preposition. We already talked about what is prepositions, kinds of preposition. Let's talk about what can be the object of preposition. Apa sih yang bisa menjadi object of preposition? Yang bisa menjadi object of preposition itu sebenarnya kalau kita mau simpelkan itu cuman ada noun dan ininya ya, noun dan keluarganya, noun phrase, noun clause seperti biasa. Kalau saya bilang noun berarti noun and its family. The next one is pronoun, kata ganti. And the third one is gerund or verb in. Okay, why we are talking about this matter actually? Because in yesterday's meeting, we talk about subject and verb. We talk about how in one sentence we need one subject and we need one verb. If one of them is missing, it means that it's not a correct sentence. So what is the connection with preposition? Is it related to preposition? Actually, preposition and its object can be a hindrance, can hinder you to find which one is the subject and which one is the verb. Because you have to remember this, guys. If a noun or if a gerund become the object of preposition, that noun, that gerund cannot be the subject anymore. Do I make myself clear enough?
Yes, clear.
Yes, very good.
Can you repeat it one more time, Miss, about the gerund?
Gerund is verb in.
Why can't be subject?
Oh, a bit like this. If noun or gerund or pronoun become the object of preposition, they cannot be the subject anymore. Whatever comes after preposition cannot be the subject anymore. So if I'm saying like this, Ini Miss make it up aja ya, guys. Okay, let's see this example. In making a good writing of contemporary arts is easy. Okay, let's see. What do you think about this sentence? Do you think it's correct or not?
Gerunnya writing kan ya, Miss?
It's a noun. It's a noun, guys. Writing here is a noun. Kalau kalian tahu apakah gerund, Miss? Gerund, tapi gerund itu noun ya. Ingat, ini noun, guys. Jadi sama aja nounnya.
Making. What if we delete in, Miss?
Yeah.
So just making a
In
good writing.
making,
What if without in? So
Without in.
the sentence only making a good writing.
Also, I mean, like, if I'm gonna ask you here, do you think this sentence has a subject or not?
Not miss.
Not miss.
Yeah,
Oh,
mhm.
subject.
So if
Subject is contemporary arts.
No.
remember, preposition needs an
Needs idea.
object.
Not
So this is the object of
subject.
preposition.
Preposition.
It means the sentence
No subject.
doesn't have a subject. That's true. If a sentence doesn't have a subject, can it be considered a correct sentence or not, in your opinion?
Not sure. Not miss.
No, sure, no, of course not. I have to be sure. That's true. It's not correct, guys. So this is not a sentence actually, because there is no subject. Clear?
Clear.
Okay.
Clear.
Yeah.
So in making until Miss, I was asking with you. So in from in making until arts is object of preposition, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's true. That's true. And the verb is, but there is no subject. And that's the problem, because the sentence needs a subject. Right? It's pretty easy, right? Very good. So, itu kenapa saya menjelaskan ini, supaya kalian jangan lagi ada yang menghalangi untuk menganalisa mana subjek. Because preposition and its object can trap you, can hinder you from finding which one is the subject. So be careful. You have to count how many prepositions are there and how many nouns, for example. So if there are 3 prepositions, for example, before the verb, it means that at least there are 4 nouns. So 3 becomes the object of preposition and 1 is the real subject. Pretty clear, right? Gimana?
Right.
You think?
That man.
Very easy, right? Okay. This is preposition and its object. Yeah. Let's move on to the next one, which is appositive. Appositive. I'm so. Wait a minute. Your friend asked me, kalau making good contemporary art, this is. Oh yes. If there is no in here, for example, kalau teman kalian tanya kalau nggak ada innya boleh nggak, Miss? Boleh. Making is a gerund. Gerund can be the subject, right? So it's completely fine. Making a good writing of contemporary arts is easy, completely fine. So the subject is making, is the verb. It's completely fine. Oke, okay? Boleh tapi nggak ada innya. Kalau ada innya nggak boleh, gitu ya. Okay,
So this is correct, Miss. Is making a good writing of contemporary art is easy, is correct sentence.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But if you're asking me why is miss, because as I mentioned yesterday that it doesn't matter how long gerund is. as long as it's only one gerund, it's considered singular. And here, only one gerund, which is making, it means that it's considered singular. Clear?
So the making is the subject, right?
Yes, that's true. Making is the subject, and the others are just part of it. Cuman bagiannya. Okay, very good. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. The second one is appositive. Appositive. Have you ever heard about appositive before? Pernah nggak kalian dengar masalah appositif sebelumnya?
Pernah.
Oh,
Pernah.
what's the appositive kan? Appositif adalah
Sebut subjek.
yes.
Penjelas dari.
Very good. Penjelasnya additional.
Additional subject.
Additional information.
Information.
Kebetulan subjek itu nggak boleh ada additionalnya guys ya, karena kalau ada additionalnya it means two subjects, double subject jadinya ya. Jangan pakai.
Miss, bukannya maksudnya kayak informasi subjek, misalkan gini, buku yang bagus itu buku yang bagus itu ditaruh di atas meja. Buku yang bagus itu kan menjelaskan si bukunya. Berarti buku sebagai subjek, yang bagus itu sebagai penjelas subjek ya, bukankah itu termasuk information dari subjek ya?
Boleh seperti itu. Mungkin cara ininya aja tadi, cara ini kalau additional subject kan berarti salah, tapi kalau additional information to subject it's possible. That's true, very good ya, boleh. Tapi additional information to subject or to object or to noun, jadi sebenarnya bukan subjek aja sih sebenarnya. Nanti Miss jelaskan apa sih additional information to what actually about appositive. But beforehand, let me tell you what can be the appositive and what cannot be the appositive. The first one is what can be the appositive. Apa sih yang bisa jadi appositif? Yang pertama itu adalah noun dan keluarganya pastinya. Noun is family. And the second one is preposition. Kalau saya bilang prepositional phrase, it means that what I implied is a preposition and its object. And the next one is verb in and verb 3. But don't worry guys, we're going to talk about verb in and verb 3, which is participle in tomorrow's meeting. So ya, ini yang bisa menjadi appositive. Actually, adjective clause juga boleh, tapi adjective clause juga sekali lagi belum kita pelajari. Ini pelajaran di materi ke-6 ya buat kita. So don't worry about this one as well, because I'm gonna talk about this one, adjective clause, in our 6th meeting. So this can be the appositive. Beside this 4, they cannot be. Ya, kita lihat dulu deh apa yang nggak bisa, yang saya mau spesifikkan lagi. Apa sih yang nggak bisa jadi appositive? Yang pertama adalah be, am, is, are, was, were. Dan semuanya ya, pakai modals juga nggak boleh. Have, has, had, pokoknya bentuk verb nggak boleh seperti ini ya. Verb 1, verb 2, nggak boleh. The next one is connector plus noun. The last one is subject, verb, object. Kalimat nggak boleh jadi appositive. So ini yang boleh dan ini yang tidak boleh become the appositive. So you have to always remember what can be the appositive and what cannot be the appositive. Okay, so kita langsung masuk ke penggunaan, because your friend actually mentioned about additional information to subject. So let's see how it's placed in a sentence. So, saya tuliskan di samping sini aja kali ya. Positioningnya ya, position dari appositive dalam kalimat itu ada 3. Secara umum ya, you can put it before like this, appositive subject verb. You can put it before the subject, and you can also put it in between subject and verb. And also, you can put it after object if there is any object here, and put the appositive like this. So, if you put it before the subject, this appositive explain the subject. If this appositive in between, sorry, there are 2 comma here, guys. In between subject and a verb, it also explain the subject. But if you put it at the back like this, it explains the object. So there are 3 places of appositive in a sentence. That's all that you have to know. So if I'm saying like this, Jokowi, comma, is it correct or not? Jokowi, unlike the other presidents, don't impose the policy. What do you think about this sentence? Do you think it's correct or incorrect sentence?
Correct.
Incorrect.
Which one is the subject?
Correct. Doesn't.
Doesn't.
Which one is the subject? Jokowi, right?
Jokowi.
Mhm.
Iya.
Which one is the verb? Should be done,
Verb dan
but it's incorrect. Why? Because the subject is Jokowi, right?
Yes, singular.
What I have to put it there? Not done, but
Doesn't.
Doesn't.
doesn't. Because here it is. Some students always think that subject and verb should be next to each other. So don't think that presidents is the subject. No, because presidents here is the object of preposition, and this is appositive. There are 2 commas. If subject and verb are next to each other, there must be no comma in between. You have to always remember that. Ya, kalau memang subjek dengan verbnya berdekatan, nggak mungkin ada koma di antaranya, itu udah nggak mungkin. So, kalau saya bilang seperti ini, but beforehand ada pertanyaan, sejauh ini ada yang kalian mau tanyakan dulu?
Miss,
Yes.
appositive selalu ada kata-kata seperti unlike, clue sendiri nggak yang kalau udah nih appositive gitu?
Not really, as long as mengikut ke ini aja, noun, prepositional phrase, verb ing, verb 3, adjective clause itu boleh, nggak masalah. Jadi nggak harus. Cuman yang 2 yang bawah ini saya belum jelaskan ya, karena memang materinya belum sampai. Jadi ini kita tahan dulu, kita fokusnya ke yang di atas saja. Tapi dalam artian bahwa memang nggak harus ada apa ya, nggak harus ada unlike-nya, nggak juga. Bisa aja noun misalnya saya bilang seperti ini. For example, which one is the subject?
Subject is Rina.
Rina.
Very good.
Verb is.
Yes, that's
Verb
true.
is.
So this one is
Apo.
Position.
opposite. It explains Rina. Jadi dia menjelaskan Rina. Itu aja. Jadi kalau misalnya memang ada koma seperti ini, itu udah pasti bukan subjeknya gitu. Jadi intinya seperti itu. Jadi clear ya? Pretty clear, right? So, but if I'm saying like this, guys. For example, ya, Jen. Contohnya, what do you think about this one? Jen, the composition of some famous songs is in Jakarta. You think about this one?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Why is it incorrect?
Because the sentence doesn't have a
Composition.
The composition, that's true. So here it is, guys. Even though, because I mentioned that one of the part of speech I can say that can be the appositive is a noun, right? Composition is actually a noun. But why is it wrong? Because it doesn't make sense. So we have to go back to the definition of appositive. Appositive is additional information. If it doesn't add information to a noun, it means that it's not an appositive. Composition, I mean, it doesn't make sense if you give additional information about Jen, which is a person, and use a composition, which is a noun. It doesn't make sense. Gitu ya. Jadi nggak memungkinkan. So kalau menurut kalian digantinya apa kira-kira? Saya ganti apa?
Composer.
Good. Very good, guys. Composer. Gitu ya. Oh, give one more example with appositive at last sentence. Oh, I can't. Langsung aja di sini ya. The composition of some famous song is in Jakarta.
Miss, tadi kenapa di composition-nya tuh kan sebenarnya noun, cuma dia nggak bisa menjelaskan si subjek ya, or objeknya, ya.
Nggak
Jadi
masuk
dia
akal, nggak doesn't make sense soalnya. Karena nggak mungkin kita menyamakan orang dengan komposisi lagu, kan nggak masuk akal, gitu loh. Ya kan? Benar nggak? Kalau pencipta lagu masuk akal, tapi kalau komposisi lagu kan nggak mungkin orang jadi komposisi lagu, kan nggak bisa, gitu kan ya. Jadi terkadang kita juga harus gunakan common sense juga saat kita melihat seperti itu. Saya?
Oke.
Oke. Nah, ada pertanyaan dari Muhammad Filipus, katanya add the last sentence. Boleh. Jadi kalau misalnya Jen, the composer of some famous song is in Jakarta. Biasanya Jakarta disebut kota apa sih? Atau ini aja deh, the capital city. Capital city of Indonesia. Capital city of Indonesia. Ya aja ya. So, this is also apa? Appositive explain Jakarta. Itu ya. Muhammad Philippus ya, I hope it's clear. It's pretty easy actually, guys. Just give additional information to a noun. Nounnya itu bisa noun dimanapun. Jadi gini, appositive ini bisa memberikan informasi tambahan mengenai satu noun intinya. Itu kenapa saya nggak mau kalian cuma berpikir subjek atau objek atau apa, enggak. Ini bisa menjelaskan noun kok. Seperti itu ya. Bisa ya guys ya, clear ya?
Clear, Miss.
Okay, very good. Let's tackle some questions here. Okay. Coba langsung number 8. In 1975, the first successful space probe to blah 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 beginning to send information back to Earth. What do you think of this one?
C, Miss.
The answer is
A.
C, maybe.
C, A,
C, Miss.
B,
Charlie.
Charlie. Ada Alpha, ada Charlie. Charlie. Okay, very good. The first one that you have to make sure is whether the subject and verb are there. So which one that can be the subject here in your opinion, guys? Subject is
The
first successful space.
prop itu apa dong kalau gitu? Oke, here. Gini misalnya kalau gini, misalnya nggak tahu prop itu apa, misalnya gitu. Saya nganggap space ini sebagai subjeknya aja. Kalau subjeknya memang space dan space itu tunggal, verbnya misalnya kita anggap prop ini verbnya, berarti verbnya harus gimana kalau tunggal?
S.
Tambah S. Tapi ini nggak tambah S, berarti bukan verb.
Okay.
Dan juga bukan verb 2. Ya udah, ini bukan verb, ini semela subjek, jadi noun ya, masih satu bagian. The first successful space probe to is a preposition. Yes, to finish. Berarti ini berarti object of
Oh, yeah.
verbing apa verb or not?
Bukan.
Very
Bukan.
good.
No.
Means we need a verb. The verb is was. Very good. Charlie. Mhm. The answer is Charlie. The next one is number 9. The two biggest resort, blah blah blah, Arkansas are Hot Springs and Eureka Springs. What do you think about this one?
B.
The answer is
B.
B. Okay. The answer is Bravo. Very good. Because there is a verb here, right? Ada verbnya. Verbnya itu adalah are. Nah, di sini ada kata two biggest resort. If you choose alpha in, maka subjeknya cuman resort. Resort ini tunggal. Tunggal tuh nggak mungkin pakai are, itu udah nggak mungkin. Kalau pakai Charlie dan Delta, sekalian itu nanti double verb. Ada RR, padahal kita sudah ada verb are. So, the answer is bravo ya, seperti itu. Sejauh ini ada yang kalian mau tanyakan mengenai preposisi dan its object sebelum saya kirimkan soalnya?
Miss, maaf Miss, kembali ke nomor 8. Itu Venusnya di sini subjeknya prop ini ya, atau Venus?
Sorry?
Nomor 8 itu subjeknya bisa diulang kembali Miss penjelasannya, berarti subjeknya Venus.
Subjeknya itu the first successful space probe. Sampai di situ tuh subjeknya. Nounnya itu propnya itu subjeknya.
To Venus.
To Venus, bagiannya masih bagian, tapi prop inilah yang menentukan nanti verbnya. Gitu ya.
Kasih.
Very good. Oke, ini Miss sambil nyari-nyari dulu nih. Tadi saya sudah buka, tapi ternyata tertutup lagi guys Google Formnya. Kalian bisa tanya dulu ya if you have any questions sebelum saya kirimkan. So far it's clear ya. Semoga semuanya clear untuk preposisi dan apositif. Oke, silakan dikerjakan ya. Nanti kita lihat sama-sama. Oke, udah ada yang done ya. Oke, very good job guys. But let me see first because I believe that some of your friends haven't finished it. But so nanti kita lihat dulu ya kalau temennya udah selesai semua. Saya nanti akan buka ini sesi untuk bertanya dulu ya, seperti itu. Oke, silakan disubmit ya kalau udah selesai. Oke, jadi saya sudah lihat ya di sini. Masih ada beberapa yang salah. I expect a lot guys from you. Ada yang cuma satu salah. Oh, ada yang udah benar semua. Cuman masih ada juga yang ini ya, masih ada yang mungkin ada pertanyaan di sini yang masih membingungkan. Boleh, silakan ditanyakan dulu. Soal yang bagian mana yang menurut kalian quite confusing in your opinion?
Yang the whole glass, Miss.
Okay, let me see. Glass. Oh, hourglass, an instrument. Okay, very good. Let's see this question. First, you have to analyze which one is the subject and which one is the verb. Here it is. This is the subject. Biasanya aku nggak bisa ya. I see. Okay. Let's see. This is the subject. Consist is the verb 1 plus s. It means that we are looking for the appositive. Here is the appositive. Udah ada noun di sini. Instrument, noun ya kan? Karena sudah ada noun, nggak mungkin kita pilih subject verb lagi karena sudah ada subject verb, udah pasti salah. Pokoknya yang subject verb salahkan aja semua ya. Kita langsung lihat lagi. Delta, the time is also a noun. Udah ada an instrument noun, ada the time lagi noun. Dua noun itu nggak boleh berdampingan, nggak boleh kecuali ada konektor seperti misalnya kata hubungnya misalnya kata and atau kata or atau seperti itulah. Jadi and or but boleh, tapi ada kata hubung seperti itu. Kalau nggak ada nggak boleh. Nggak boleh misalnya saya bilang seperti ini, selalu saya contohkan ke student. Nggak boleh saya bilang she, he, are. Kan nggak boleh ada she sama he berdampingan tanpa misalnya she and misalnya she and he misalnya contoh itu bisa. Tapi kalau cuma she, he kan nggak boleh, itu simpelnya. Mungkin jauh lebih make sense di kepala kalau saya bilang she, he dibanding saya bilang an instrument the time. Karena mungkin instrument the time itu terlalu tinggi misalnya kata-katanya, tapi simpelkan aja. She dan he nggak mungkin berdampingan tanpa ada sesuatu yang menghubungkan, gitu loh. Karena memang noun nggak bisa berdampingan tanpa ada kata hubungnya, gitu. Jadi delta juga salah. Ya udah pakai preposisi. Boleh nggak preposisi di belakang noun? Ya nggak ada masalah. Preposisi namanya keterangan, mau ditempatkan dimanapun sebenarnya nggak ada masalah, gitu. So the answer is Charlie. Clear ya? Okay, another question, number 4, lenses. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one. This is subject, or is the verb. Okay. Saya mau tanya dulu dengan kalian, kenapa alpha, Charlie, delta salah menurut kalian?
Miss, aku tuh ngiranya ini kayak 3 macam gitu, lenses, glasses. Jadi aku jawabnya Charlie gitu, Miss. Jadi ininya R gitu. Jadi tadi aku salah juga sih di bagian ini, tapi jadi aku pikir C, ternyata bukan.
Kenapa kira-kira? Karena form itu verb.
Oh iya itu sih.
Nah, mungkin misalnya Vera tanya, Miss, kenapa form itu bukan noun aja sih? Karena kalau sudah nounnya plural.
Oke.
Karena kalau sudah nounnya plural, udah berhenti di situ nounnya. Nggak mungkin lagi ada noun setelahnya. Bisa
Miss,
ya?
berarti kalau formnya nggak ada, berarti bener ya, Miss, kalau C itu formnya nggak ada.
Boleh.
Oh, oke. Thank you.
Oke. Jadi di sini karena ada verb, ini juga alpha ada
R.
yes.
Double verb.
Double verb. Delta ada
Ada may.
May. The modals.
very good. So the answer is pretty clear, guys. Adalah bravo, gitu ya. Ada lagi kata before. Oke, this one. Before here is a preposition. Preposition tadi objeknya bisa apa? Bisa noun, bisa gerund, ya kan? Boleh nggak verb one?
Tidak bisa.
Nggak bisa. Subject verb, ini juga verb. Nggak bisa, bener banget. Soalnya jadi satu-satunya yang bisa memang cuman Charlie, ya makanya noun biasa. Very good, seperti itu aja.
Miss, kalau the introduction nggak ada, adanya introducing berarti boleh ya, Karen?
Boleh sebenarnya, cuman kalau introducing di situ
janggal ya?
Ya agak sedikit janggal, kecuali misalnya before introducing you misalnya to my parents, boleh seperti itu. Tapi harus ada you dulu. Gitu. Tapi boleh kalau Jaren memungkinkan. Tapi kalau makna ini nggak memungkinkan. Kalau makna ini, tapi kalau makna yang lain ya boleh-boleh aja, gitu ya. Oke, kita lihat lagi. Particularly, ini saya lihat aja ya yang saya temukan cepat itu yang saya jawab. Nah, here it is, ada koma di sini. Berarti kira-kira ini yang dioxide sulfur ini apa sih di sini? Fungsinya apa? Sebagai
positif.
Posisi.
Positif ya. So the subject is no subject, right? So we are looking for the subject. Yang bisa jadi subjek kan nggak mungkin verb, nggak mungkin subject verb, nggak mungkin preposisi. Kenapa delta salah kalau gitu menurut kalian?
Karena singular, kita cari singular ya, Miss.
Salah satunya, very good. karena kita mencari singular. Dan kalau ini berarti subjeknya plural. Itu yang alasan paling utamanya. Very good. Dan alasan yang kedua adalah present di sini lebih ke adjektif. Adjektif nggak mungkin jadi object of preposisi. So it's incorrect. So the answer is alpha. Very good. The next one, 14. Saya jawab dulu yang 14. Ada of preposition. Preposition needs an object. Apa yang bisa menjadi object of preposition? Gerund. Very good. Atau noun, benar. Ini verb 1, ini verb 2, ini to infinitive, ini gerund. Dari semua yang saya sebutkan tadi, yang cuman bisa memenuhi persyaratan jadi object of preposition is
Gerund.
gerund. So yang lain eliminasi aja. Itu yang number 14 ya. And the last one, ini saya jelaskan, oke. Udah ada nggak subject verbnya menurut kalian?
Udah ada, Miss.
Which one?
The subject is the United States.
Okay, very good. Which one is the verb?
Have.
Very good. Kita sudah ada subject verb, berarti kita nggak boleh pilih verb lagi. Ini kita eliminasi. To infinitive, kalau terletak di belakang itu nggak boleh ada koma kalau pakai to infinitive, salah. So, karena kita cari yang positif, yang bisa jadi yang positif adalah pakai tambahan aja noun soalnya. Jadi ini noun yang menjadi object of preposisi. That's all. So the answer should be bravo. Clear? Very good. Very good. Masih ada nggak yang kalian mau tanyakan sejauh ini? So far, is there any question related to preposition and its object?
Number last, Miss. Paling akhir, Miss.
The last one? I mean, I explain about this one.
Ya, maaf, Miss, tadi kelewat.
What happened?
Tadi kelewat, Miss. Maaf, Miss.
Oh, Alang, it's okay. It's okay. Don't say sorry. It's okay. I explain once more. Okay, because here of is a preposition. Preposition needs an object, and the one that can be the object of preposition is only gerund, right? Because verb 1 cannot be the object of preposition, to infinitive cannot be the object of preposition, let alone simple past cannot be the object of preposition. So the answer is alpha, becoming, which is a gerund. Clear ya?
Yes.
Very good. Okay guys, ada lagi? Number 6 itu yang mana? Okay. There is 2 comma here. It means that this is appositive, this is subject, this is verb. Verb needs an object. Which one that can be the object of verb? Apa sih yang bisa menjadi objek? Yang pastinya bukan preposisi. Apa yang bisa menjadi subjek itu yang bisa menjadi objek. Preposisi nggak mungkin subject verb. Kita sudah ada subject verb. So the answer is alpha, which is noun. Gitu ya. Bisa ya? Gimana so far? Related to our, I mean like it's been this is our second material. So yesterday we talked about subject verb, and today we talk about object of preposition and appositive. So out of these 3 materials actually, if we break them down, is there any question related to them?
Miss, tadi kan aku lihatnya soalnya resemble kan mirip, jadi aku nambahin S gitu, mirip seperti gitu, tapi ternyata salah ya, Miss.
Yes, because resemble itu verbnya transitif, butuh objek. Jadi jangan diartikan memang ya.
Oke, thank you, Miss.
Yes, my pleasure. Pokoknya kalian coba hindari yang namanya mengartikan, karena kalau kalian mengartikan nanti kalian bingung sendiri, ya. Jadi menyerupai memang artinya bukan seperti sebenarnya, menyerupai. Biasanya kita bilang seperti ini. Oh, you have your facial expression have striking resemblance to your grandparents. Biasanya seperti itu penggunaannya. Jadi resemblance itu biasa kita artikan dengan kemiripan, biasanya kemiripan visual, kayak gitu, appearance gitu ya. Dan dia verbnya transitif kalau udah jadi verb. Jadi dia butuh objek aja, seperti itu. Saya guys ya. No,
I wanna ask Miss, in number 1, you said previously that to infinitive cannot be put after comma. Why?
Because that's the rule.
Okay, so it is a fixed rule that we have to remember.
Yes, that's true. If you put at the back ya, kalau ditempatkan di belakang, there must be no comma. If you put comma, is incorrect. If you put it at the back like this, it's the opposite. If you put it at the front, for example, to blah blah blah, comma baru subject verb, baru ada koma ya. Tapi kalau di belakang, it shouldn't be any comma. It's pokoknya haram gitu kalian tempatkan koma kalau di belakang, gitu ya. Okay, is there more? No. Okay, guys, because there is no other questions, so I hope that everything is clear. So yeah, that's all for today's meeting. Tomorrow we are going to talk about present and past participle. Actually, we don't have a lot. I mean, like I will give you a lot of exercises because mostly the material is all about present and past participle. Actually, we talked about that one in our previous material, yesterday's meeting. So yeah, the material is not really a lot. So I'm going to be heavy on exercises for tomorrow's meeting. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining our meeting. See you tomorrow. Have a great, not great night, but good night, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss.
Guys, see you all later.